Formula One fans, brace yourselves. The Las Vegas Grand Prix has barely started, yet controversies are already making headlines. From unexpected technical hiccups to surprising performances, the race weekend promises drama like never before. Stay tuned as we uncover what's turning this event into one for the books. The opening practice sessions for the Las Vegas Grand Prix brought plenty of surprises. In a turn of events that no one anticipated, Lewis Hamilton dominated the timesheets during Thursday's practice rounds. His fastest lap in the second session, clocked at 1:33.825 on soft tires, showcased just how well Mercedes is adapting to the unique cold conditions of Las Vegas. Although Hamilton led the charge, Lando Norris wasn't far behind, trailing by just 0.011 seconds and splitting the Mercedes cars in the second practice. Meanwhile, Ferrari's performance placed them in fourth and fifth, maintaining consistency but not quite breaking into the top spots. On the other hand, Red Bull, known for their championship-winning pace, struggled massively. Their cars landed at an unusual 17th and 19th positions, raising eyebrows across the paddock. What could be the reason for this sudden drop in form? Turns out, Red Bull's setup issues are at the heart of their struggles. The team revealed that they had mistakenly brought the wrong parts for the high-speed Las Vegas circuit. Specifically, their rear wing wasn't optimized for the track's demands, which led to a significant disadvantage on straight-line speed. According to GPS data, Red Bull's cars were 7 km/h slower compared to Mercedes and McLaren. The team scrambled to fix the issue, but their options were limited. They could either try to make do with the existing setup or urgently fly in the correct parts from their UK factory, a logistical nightmare given the tight timeline. Red Bull's technical troubles weren't limited to straight-line speed. Their performance in practice sessions also highlighted deeper issues. Max Verstappen, typically a front-runner, could only manage 17th fastest in the second practice session. His teammate, Sergio Perez, followed closely behind in 19th. The team attributed their struggles to a combination of factors, including less-than-ideal engine settings and an alternative tire strategy. Despite their attempts to optimize performance by removing a gurney flap from the rear wing, Red Bull found themselves on the back foot. Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko acknowledged the shortcomings, explaining that the team lacked a rear wing design that matched the low-drag setups used by their competitors. When asked if there was a chance to fly in a replacement wing overnight, Marko admitted that such a move was unlikely but not entirely off the table. Beyond the hardware issues, Marko pointed out inconsistencies in Red Bull's overall performance. He admitted the team struggled to find balance during long runs, with rear tire wear becoming a significant challenge. While there were occasional flashes of speed, maintaining competitive lap times proved elusive. "We need more stability," Marko stated, reflecting on the team's need for both better one-lap pace and improved tire management. The question now looms: can Red Bull turn things around in time for qualifying? With Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren showing strong pace, the competition is fierce. Red Bull may have to settle for damage control this weekend, a rare scenario for the reigning champions. While Red Bull is grappling with their setup issues, another layer of intrigue has surfaced. At Interlagos, Verstappen managed to end his winless streak of 10 races. Despite the victory, he and his team remain cautious about their current standing in the field. Verstappen has hinted at a more level playing field among the top teams in recent months, and this sentiment has sparked curiosity across the paddock. However, his comments have also stirred speculation. Within Red Bull, there is a growing belief that some rival teams, particularly McLaren, may have found unconventional ways to enhance tire performance. A rumor suggests that certain teams might be cooling their tires using small amounts of liquid to gain an edge in temperature management during races. McLaren has outright dismissed these claims, calling them unfounded and speculative. The FIA, too, has weighed in on the matter. Following an investigation into rear wing configurations and alleged tire cooling tactics, the governing body found no evidence to support the rumors. However, just as this controversy settled, a new one emerged this time, involving the car's underbodies and a technical directive issued by the FIA. At the heart of this directive lies a contentious detail: the use of special protective plates over skid blocks. These plates were being employed by nearly half the grid to minimize wear on underbody components while running extremely low ride heights. Red Bull, however, flagged this practice as illegal and argued that it created an unfair advantage. The FIA responded swiftly to Red Bull's concerns, issuing a new technical directive that immediately banned the use of these protective plates. This adjustment shook up preparations for several teams, including Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren, all of whom were reportedly utilizing the now prohibited components. The timing couldn't have been worse, as these teams were forced to adapt their setups just days before the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The issue revolves around how much the skid blocks, located under the cars, wear down during a race. The FIA uses these blocks to ensure teams comply with regulations on minimum ride height. The rule states that wear on the blocks cannot exceed a specific threshold, but some teams had designed solutions to protect these components, allowing their cars to run lower and gain more aerodynamic efficiency. Red Bull argued that these protective skids gave an unfair advantage, as they effectively allowed teams to push the limits of ride height regulations. The FIA's ruling now forces affected teams to raise their cars' ride height, potentially costing them valuable lap time. Ferrari reportedly requested that the enforcement of the directive be delayed until after the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but their appeal was denied. For teams like Mercedes and McLaren, who had fine-tuned their setups around extremely low ride heights, this sudden change posed significant challenges. They had to make rapid adjustments to avoid risking disqualification for excessive skid block wear. The directive's impact was expected to be a deciding factor during qualifying and the race. Meanwhile, Red Bull seemed optimistic about the enforcement, as their cars were already compliant with the regulation. However, their rear-wing issues still left them playing catch-up. Could this new directive disrupt the balance of power among the frontrunners, or would Red Bull still struggle to capitalize on the situation? As the weekend unfolded, the implications of the FIA's directive became clearer. Teams affected by the ban on protective skids had to raise their ride height significantly, which directly impacted their cars' aerodynamics. Running higher meant losing downforce, resulting in slower lap times, a setback that no team wants to face during a crucial Grand Prix race weekend. Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari appeared visibly hindered during qualifying simulations. While their cars initially seemed competitive in practice sessions, the adjustments required by the directive seemed to upset their balance. On the other hand, Red Bull, though facing their own challenges with the rear-wing setup, might have found an unexpected advantage. With their rivals forced to modify their cars, Red Bull had a chance to narrow the gap. Still, Red Bull's pace was far from what we've come to expect. Verstappen and Perez struggled to extract speed from the existing rear-wing configuration, and concerns about tire degradation lingered. According to team advisor Helmut Marko, their long-run performance remained inconsistent, with rear tire wear creating significant hurdles. While Verstappen managed a few competitive laps during simulations, the overall performance left much to be desired. Adding to the drama, the ban on skid block protection reignited discussions about loopholes in Formula One's regulations. Red Bull, having raised concerns about the skids in the first place, found themselves under scrutiny from rival teams. Some suggested that Red Bull's protest might have been a tactical move to destabilize competitors, while others saw it as a necessary step to ensure fair competition. The question now is whether this directive will lead to a significant reshuffling of the grid. Can Red Bull overcome their current struggles and take advantage of the situation, or will the likes of Mercedes and McLaren adapt quickly enough to maintain their edge? The stage is set for a fascinating qualifying session and an unpredictable race. The Las Vegas Grand Prix weekend is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable events in recent Formula One history. Red Bull, despite their challenges, is determined to fight back. Verstappen remains calm under pressure, confident that the team can still extract more performance. Meanwhile, their rivals scramble to adjust their setups, raising questions about how much this sudden change will impact their race pace. As for the championship battle, Verstappen's fourth title celebration seems to be on hold for now. While Red Bull aims to claw their way back into contention, their uncharacteristic struggles this weekend highlight how close the competition has become. The gap between teams is narrower than ever, and every minor tweak or misstep could decide the outcome. Qualifying will be the first major test to see how teams adapt to the new directive and whether Red Bull can recover enough to secure competitive starting positions. However, the race itself may hold the key. With tire degradation issues, unpredictable track conditions, and heightened pressure, anything could happen. Will Mercedes or McLaren capitalize on their early pace? Could Ferrari pull off a surprise? Or will Red Bull find a way to bounce back and defy the odds? One thing is certain: all eyes will be on Las Vegas as the drama continues to unfold. The stage is set, and fans around the world are eagerly waiting to see who will come out on top. What's your prediction? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more updates on what promises to be a thrilling Grand Prix